Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to another one of my Epic 7 videos for you guys today. It is Samool here, and today we're going to be talking about the best way to progress in the current state of Epic 7. Now the game has gone through a lot of changes for the better, mostly for the better and a bit for the worse, and because of that there has been a lot of changes to how you actually want to progress in the game. Now I'm making this video because we do have an influx of a lot of new players because of the Full Metal Alchemist collab. Even if you guys are new to the channel and you guys are, pretty lost in what you need to do, then you guys can always check out my videos. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button though to always get updates when I have guides like this release. And even players that are in the late game, if you're stumbling upon this channel now, we do have some PvP content that comes out pretty regularly as well. So that being said, how do you actually want to start off? So when you first start the game, you're going to be doing the tutorial, and you're going to have to go through adventure. Now, after you go and clear the first few stages of adventure, otherwise known as the story in this game, then what will eventually happen is you'll be prompted to do something called the Selective Summon. Selective Summon, it'll basically tell you everything. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about yet and you just want to start the game, go ahead and try it. It'll actually prompt you to do everything I'm saying. But yeah, you'll get to the Selective Summon and you're going to have to choose between a list of units. It's not going to be as long as the list over here, but if you look at the list by clicking through, there'll be like a list of like 10 or so units that you can choose from, and you can't actually just choose it exactly. You have to kind of like re-roll. Now there's 3 options that I really recommend. I do talk about these options more in depth. If you guys are interested in that, check out my Selective Summon videos, but basically the 3 I recommend are going to be Asaria, Ravi, and Vildred. They're very, very powerful. I think Asaria is a little bit better than the other 2, but Ravi and Vildred are fine as well. Yeah, so after you do the Selective Summon, what do you want to do? You're going to see there's a quest button on the bottom right here. My account has already completed it, but there will be like a pink-haired girl where I'm clicking, if you can see, and it's going to be called the Adventurer's Path. You basically just want to fill out those quests that she gives you and progress through the story in adventure mode. Just pretty much clear the main story up until you beat episode 1, 10-10. If you're finding yourself struggling in that area of content in early adventure, it's mostly going to be because you actually don't have gear upgraded, or you don't have your units leveled. So if you guys don't know, just a quick refresher: if you want to level your units right, you go to level up, and the game will give you a lot of penguins in the beginning. You just auto select and it'll level your units, and you want to make sure your levels are adequately leveled. Also, you want to make sure that you are using the right team comp. And what I mean by team comp is, there's a lot of units you can get in the beginning of the game because you do summon for them, but there's one specific unit that I guarantee that you'll definitely need. Obviously the first one you're going to want to use is the unit you re-rolled for, but the second one is going to be this unit here, Angelica. So as you're beating story and you do rank up your account, once you start encountering some stages where you can't breeze through anymore, you're definitely going to want to use Angelica. Angelica is very, very powerful. You're definitely going to want to use her. She's the best tank for early game players. Just put her in the front, put her on that free HP gear you get in from the check-in event, and you'll be good to go, and you'll be able to use her in an area of content later on that you're going to be want to farming. So definitely use Angelica, guys. And then while you're using Angelica, you'll also be able to do something called the Moonlight Blessing quest, the Moonlight Connection, where you'll be able to choose from Moonlight heroes, and the one you're going to want to choose is going to be Spectre Tenebria here. She might look a little bit different, right, because I have the skin on. This is what she looks like normally, but definitely take Spectre Tenebria. So with that being said, you'll have your basic team set up. You'll have Asaria, you'll have or I guess Ravi or Vildred, Angelica, and Spectre Tenebria, and the last unit can be whatever unit you've actually pulled for. It doesn't really matter too much. Now, that being said, as you're clearing through adventure, you're going to be wanting to clear that Adventurer's Path over here. It gives you a lot of decent rewards, right? You'll get a lot of rewards in the form of like boxes and stuff like that. You'll get a lot of summons. You'll get a lot of these charms, right? Stuff like this on your screen that you see here, you'll be getting a lot of. And you're going to want to use it to actually enhance your units, and also, just do the quest for doing the quest's sake. Now, while you're clearing adventure though, there is another primary goal you should be keeping in mind, and that is going to be making your hunt team. Now for hunt, it is a dungeon in the game where you just farm over and over. It's going to be the area of content where you get most of your gear. You can see this is Wyvern Hunt. This is stage 13, the latest stage that has been released. And you get level 85 gear. You can upgrade this level 90. And it is the best or highest level gear in the game. And you're going to want to be able to farm this. Now, if you are fast and progressing and kind of know what you're doing, you'll be able to farm like Wyvern 13 probably within like a week or 2. If you don't know though, you can take your time, but yeah, you definitely want to make your way there. And while you're making your way to Wyvern, you want to start constructing your team. Now the reason you want to start your adventure quests and finish adventure as fast as possible is for a few reasons. It is going to really help you with making your Wyvern team. Now, for your Wyvern team, if you don't know, if you go to ongoing events here, this should still be going on no matter when you watch this video, because it is an event, but technically there's no expiry date on it. You'll be able to choose a unit from this Hunt Expert Challenge. Now, you'll be able to get every single unit, but when you choose one, you have to finish all the quests for that unit before you can go to another one. So you definitely want to pick a unit called Sigrid. Sigrid is a Wyvern unit. She is super good in Wyvern, and you'll be able to get her for free and 6 copies of Daydream Joker, which is the artifact that you want to equip on her. Now, Sigrid being one of the best Wyvern units in the game, that's one of your 4 slots. What about your other 3 slots, right? So we talked about Angelica from Connections. Angelica is going to be your best tank for Wyvern for new players. So while you're using Angelica to carry you through adventure, you'll be able to use her in Wyvern, which is an area of content you'll be farming for a majority of the game. So definitely important that you make your Angelica very strong, put her on your free HP set, and you'll be good to go. Next, we have Furious. So Furious is also going to be one of your key Wyvern units. He's extremely powerful, and you want to be able to unlock him from Connections here. Connections, by the way, if you just fill out these quests, you'll get a copy of this unit for free. So just make sure you fill out these quests. For the hardest one to do here is probably gift 400 Brave Crests. For that one, you need to join a guild. So make sure you join a guild as soon as you can and start farming those Brave Crests so you can do Furious's quest. Now for the last slot, guys, you can use Alexa. She is probably not better than the other option I'm about to tell you, but until you pull that option from your summons, you definitely want to use Alexa. Otherwise, if you get lucky and while you're pulling for specific banners or even on the regular summons, you're going to want to use a unit called Mewy. Now, Mewy is going to be a very powerful unit for Wyvern. I don't actually use him because I'm past the stage of needing him, but for early game players, he's an insane Wyvern unit, so you definitely want to try to use him if you can get lucky and pull for him. Now, that's not to say you guys should be pulling on every single banner, because you do want to save your currency in this game. Even though Smilegate and Epic 7 gives you a lot of resources, you want to save your bookmarks for these drop rate up banners. For example, we have Sigrid here. So Sigrid used to be very good, like I said, very powerful in Wyvern, but with that event, since you get her for free, you don't need her anymore. So you just want to wait for another good banner, and while you're pulling for them, if you look very closely here, you'll see that Mewy is going to be on this list. I actually can't find him because my eye, oh, here he is, where I'm clicking. So yeah, any other banner, you'll be able to pull him there as well. Now, Mewy is very good, but until you get him, you can use Alexa and it's fine. So you can get 3 out of the 4 units that you need for your Wyvern team from the Connections area over here. If you click the table here, and the last unit is Sigrid that you get from the quest that I just showed you from that event. So if you don't know what units or banners you should be pulling for, by the way, guys, you guys should just check out my should you pull videos. I release them for every single banner, and I talk about every single unit in depth for players of all stages of the game. And until you get Mewy, just use Alexa. So like I said, beat up to episode 2 and 3-10 until you can unlock Furious here. And while you're doing so, make sure you rank up and enhance, awaken, upgrade your gear for all the units that you're using for Wyvern. Now, I wouldn't upgrade the random gear you get while doing adventure. You want to upgrade gear that is red, that is either level 70, 75, or 85. Anything below that's not really worth it. Some of the 55 red gear is okay, but keep in mind you want to be a little bit conservative with your resources. So yeah, Angelica, Furious, Alexa plus Sigrid until you get Mewy, and then Mewy for Alexa, and you should be good to go. Now, of course, there are other options you can use to get lucky and pull for them, but that is the general free-to-play team. So once you do unlock Furious, though, after you beat episode 2 and 3-10, that is when you want to start getting into Wyvern to farm your gear. Now, at first, your Wyvern runs will be very slow, and I definitely recommend farming 11. Anything below that, I would not recommend farming. If you're struggling with anything below 11, or even 11 itself, it's probably because you haven't fully awakened your units or even enhanced your units gear, or skill enhance them as well. Definitely want to do that, but yeah, definitely farm 11 or 12 or 13, because 10 and below there is some RNG in it, and actually the bosses are harder. So after farming gear for your team, guys, you want to start beating out story mode, episode 2 even up to episode 3, and then you want to progress into unlocking your specialty change units. Now, of course, you can do this while you're building your Wyvern teams, but after episode 2, you definitely want to unlock a lot of these units. Now, the ones I definitely recommend, guys, are going to be the following. So the first one I'm going to recommend is going to be Angelic Montmorency. Now, she is a very bad unit until you do her specialty change, but once you do, she is amazing. She is a Soul Weaver. You're going to use her pretty much everywhere in PvE. You definitely want to finish her quest out. She's very strong. The second one I'm going to recommend Adventure Ross, also extremely powerful in PvE and also a top tier PvP unit. So you definitely want to build him. He is the main character, so it is kind of weird that he's really strong, but you definitely want to build him. Now after that, you're going to want to build Commander Varina. Now Commander Varina is one of the best PvE units in the game. I don't actually have mine built all the way because I never found a need for her. Oh, I don't even have her imprinted all the way. But anyways, definitely want to build her. She's very powerful. You can use her as a damage dealing unit. So yeah, farming Wyvern, farm gear for your team, upgrade your Wyvern team to make it a little bit faster if you want. If you want to see a very detailed Wyvern guide, I have one on my channel page actually. But after you build those specialty change units, the reason why you want to build them is because they're very good in an area of content known as Hell Raid. So yeah, after you farm Wyvern for a bit, farm some more gear, you're going to reach a stage of the game where you're just pretty much only logging in to farm Wyvern and do some PvP and stuff like that. Then you want to get into Hell Raid. So Hell Raid drops really good level 88 gear, as you just saw on your right here, right? There's some crazy gear you can get. And honestly, for Hell Raid, if you have like Adventure Ross, Angelic Montmorency, like your Spectre Tenebria, and like Commander Varina, which are all units that I recommended that you, pick or build, then you'll be good to go for a lot of the Hell Raid bosses. Now there's some nuances with some units you want to bring, but for the most part they will carry you through a lot of Hell Raid. And after Hell Raid, guys, that is the big question. What hunt do you farm after Wyvern? Used to be Azmonak, guys, but I would definitely recommend now that you can farm Banshee. So Banshee is very good because pretty much all of these sets are good in PvP. As from that, guys, the only good set at the moment is actually going to be Rage set and kind of Immunity set. Immunity set is good on some units. Rage set is good for PvE. So for that reason, a lot of people like to get into Banshee first. But to do that, you're going to need very specific units. Now, if you want to farm Azmonak first because you want to one-shot Banshee, that is also fine. It's really up to you because Rage set does help you get into Banshee. So I would just recommend, guys, after you start farming Wyvern a bit, to get into Azmonak, farm it a bit, build your Banshee one-shot team, because Banshee, unless you one-shot, it takes really long, and then get into Banshee. So the standard hunt progression, guys, is going to be Wyvern, into Azmonak, into Banshee, right? And then once these three are done, you get into Cadiz, which is a very late-game hunt, but you eventually do want to get there. So that's pretty much the progression, right? So do all your early-game quests, right? Do all of your adventures path. Make sure you build up that Wyvern team. That is probably the hardest thing for anyone to do. And then once you get into Wyvern, guys, you are good to go. Wyvern is very, very important to farm. Speed set gear is going to be universal. You can use this on every single PvE unit. And then once you have all your units on speed set, you can start farming Banshee and Azmonak and then into Cadiz, right? The hardest and the biggest thing to overcome, guys, is going to be that Wyvern hunt. But once you do get to Wyvern 13, you will be good to go. Don't feel bad if you're farming Wyvern 11 or 12 for a while. It is fine. Just get to 13 as soon as you can, and you should be good to go. And all the meanwhile, guys, do your Abyss every day, and make sure you're doing your Automaton Tower. They give really good rewards, and even participate in Hall Trials. Even if you score pretty poorly, you'll get very good rewards. You saw I autoed it with a really bad team, still get really good rewards. And yeah, this game is very generous in what supplies they give you in the game. It is the reason why it is one of the biggest gacha games right now. So I definitely recommend checking it out. If you guys are new to the channel as well and are watching because of Full Metal Alchemist, then definitely try it out. This game is pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty much how you progress in this game. It's very easy, I'd say, if you guys just follow this guide. Just make sure you farm through and upgrade your units, get into Wyvern, and then get into the other hunts. It's pretty easy. That being said, if you guys found this video helpful, make sure you guys leave a like and comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.